Pisces? This is Wishko the Ferret. Thanks for hopping into the Ferret Den, where we're keeping things warm and we're keeping things cozy. Today we have a reading for April 17th to the 23rd. The only thing we have to keep in mind for this cycle is that we have a new moon in Aries coming up on the 20th. It is also a hybrid solar eclipse. So if you want to figure out how those energies mesh with yours, how they impact you and your signs, if you want to capitalize on any of those energies, go check out your favorite astrologer and see what you can work with. So that being said, Pisces, I'm just going to jump right in here. As always, drop into your heart space. Let the dust spiritually, physically, and emotionally settle around and within you so that you can determine which messages are for you and which messages are for others. And while you do that, I will say my own prayer. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for protecting my spirit as I connect with Pisces energy. Thank you for allowing me to close off my energy to any negative energies so that I can channel straight from the highest source and the highest truth for our Pisces collective, whether they're sun, moon, or rising Pisces. They can also be, they don't have to have Pisces in their top three. It's just whoever feels intuitively called to listen to this message. Let me speak in an articulate way that our audience can understand, to where they can feel empowered and uplifted. And thank you for allowing me to speak guidance on them today. So, let's see what we had for our Pisces. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna hold off because you already have swords, and for whatever reason I connected with wind energy, even though it's not like the air sign energy, even though we're on the water signs for Pisces. Interesting. So there does seem to be a lot of mental energy this week. So before I settle on that, let me just pull the rest of your cards. Oh, by golly, Pisces. Okay, so there's a lot of mental energy going on here. You have like 3 different swords card, and it's just a lot of like mind energy. So I've seen air for a reason. Okay, so there's trouble with a certain perspective here. Right off the bat, you have Knight of Swords. And Knight of Swords indicates that there's some type of backlash. Perhaps there has been a comment that has been received, either by you or another party. There's some type of backlash. There's just some type of whipping of words going on. I'm not sure. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't quite indicate 5 of Swords energy. It doesn't really feel like that big of a deal, but perhaps it's a phrase or a comment, or you've heard some type of words that put you in reflective mode. There's something about the Hanged Man here that offers a change in perspective, or a need to change perspective. And I feel like this is your energy of feeling like you're in a situation, or perhaps you felt like there was some type of, I don't know if it was like some type of arguing. I'm hearing for some of you it could have been with like a motherly figure. So like I just heard like with your mom. I don't know, somebody was tossing words somewhere, and it didn't have to be mean, it didn't have to indicate anything, but perhaps something that was said that, even if it was kindly, and it's prompted some type of, it was very thought-provoking, it prompted some sort of thought, and the Hanged Man, it's like an issue that needs to be addressed for you. And I don't know if it's just an issue in general, or if it's just an issue you find with yourself, but there's a need to see whatever issue this is from a different perspective, or a need to alter your thinking a little bit in order to fit. It's almost like I'm getting the sense that somebody sees things from a convex point of view, and some people see things from a concave point of view. And by that I mean it's basically the shape of a mirror. So if you imagine a mirror, and if you see it as kind of like a bubble, that's one way to see it. But if you also kind of see a mirror indented, then you see the image very differently. You see it very thin and narrow. Whereas if you see like the rounded, the concave, then you see it very like all big and, you know, you got a big nose and everything when you're looking in it. So it's just different perspectives. Neither is wrong or right. It just seems like they're just different. So it's just that it's like a clash of opinions, or like a clash of personalities or words or something. There's a clash of thoughts and ideas, and it's caused you to contemplate. So Page of Swords is reflecting on what your beliefs are, what your values are, and if you're truly saying words that reflect that or changing things. But I do feel like it's promoting a lot of fear within you. With the Nine of Swords, there's something coming up here that says, some of you could be saying, I can't believe I said that. And for others of you, it's almost like you're regretting the things that you're saying, or you are fearing the words spoken by other people. There's just something, there's a worded situation here that's causing you to go into some sort of reflection mode and causing you to alter your perspective. And usually when things change within us, they do prompt moments of fear. Pisces. They can, because like I feel like any type of change is scary. It's uncomfortable. Usually discomfort is present with some fear. It could for some of you be a nightmarish situation, and it could be something that appears very small or something that you recognize as very small, but something that still feels like monumental to you because maybe your anxiety is taking it to that level, or perhaps this is something very shaking to you of, you know, I don't want people to view me in a certain way, or I don't know how my perspective could change or how other people's perspective could change. I don't know how two of these perspectives can sit and work, but there's something here that you are focusing on, like you're focusing on your own mind and shifting either your beliefs or your intentions because of something that perhaps somebody else said. It's like a differing of opinions. And I'm hearing that you're leading different lives too. So that's another thing to consider. I just heard drop into your heart space. So I feel that there's so much head energy, there's so much overthinking going on that there's not enough of being in the heart. Oftentimes, and you know, I mean, I hate to say it, but oftentimes we say what we say and we mean it. And then when other people say their opinion, it brings doubt to us, and it kind of hurts because we want to feel that connection with other people. We want to feel like we're heard and that we're understood. And perhaps you didn't mean any harm by what you said, and maybe the other person didn't mean any harm by what they said either. It's just a differing opinion. And even if I don't know, I feel like I'm hearing that for some of you this is a particular person. Like, I feel like this is one person in particular, not a group. I just heard, just say you're sorry. Sometimes we don't have to change what we think or what we believe, but sometimes offering, I'm sorry, like, sometimes that's all that's required. If things are so difficult or clashing of heads, or clashing of words, just saying sorry sometimes is enough to clear it up. But if it is your opinion and you said it strongly in the moment, don't waver from that, because there is something here that is speaking from the heart. You have the Star card as your last card, and this is recognizing that you have your own gifts and talents to give to the world, and your experiences, your beliefs, and your opinions are framed around your lifestyle, your own experiences. Like your beliefs and the way that you view life are focused all around, like, they are a product of something that happened in your life. They are a product of the things that you've experienced. And one of the things that Spirit wants to tell you is that you're not alone with what you're thinking. So be positive. It's almost like this situation has helped shed some light on some things. And it may be necessary, like it was, even though it might seem a little messy, Spirit's just calling you to come out of your headspace and recognize, fall back on your talents, because I do feel like I do feel like there is some type of wisdom to be gained here. There's something to learn here, and I feel like we're kind of rolling our eyes at this because it's like, oh my gosh, that's not gonna fix it. Just say you're sorry if the situation calls for it, and if you don't feel like it's, even if it's only to keep the relationship intact, if it's somebody that you're not comfortable with cutting completely out of your life, if it's someone like family, for example, or if it's like a very dear friend that you've known for a long time that you don't want to part with, there's something here about just accepting somebody else's thoughts for what they are, and if necessary, or if you so feel called, allow them to have an influence on you. If you want your opinion to be changed by them, just make sure that it's aligned with your heart and what you feel is true for you. And sometimes people are put on our path to like challenge ourselves to help move us closer into alignment, and sometimes they're just challenging us to, sometimes they're just challenging us to stick more firmly to our beliefs. And Spirit doesn't really want you reflecting on why the situation happened, because that's for them to worry about. Do what your heart is calling you to focus on. I just heard you can't measure love. So I don't let this impact your love for another, or let this impact their love for you. Does that make sense? Sorry, I hope that made sense. I'm sorry if that was a little too vague. You have Lost in Space, Needing Direction for the Shaman's Dream Oracle card. This is a deck that I'm pulling from the book this week. So let's see what the book says on this. Lost in space, feeling lost, needing direction and focus, a 24-hour day. Sometimes in life, we lose our way, perhaps falling prey to addictive behaviors, jealousy, comparison, resistance, or fear. This happens especially when we are up-leveling and genuinely changing for the better. A part of us, hidden in the vast expansiveness of space, wants to sabotage our progress. In the transformation process, our inner world no longer feels safe or inhabitable, as we find that our thoughts and beliefs have morphed beyond recognition. You may find yourself adrift in this way right now, unable to focus or determine the next step. You might be tired and simply need to regroup and rest. When you lack direction, the first thing to do is redirect your perspective of time. Like a newborn baby who needs swaddling to feel safe, you're invited to reduce your life visioning to the next 24 hours. Anyone can handle living in a 24-hour compartment, which allows everything to feel grounded and manageable. You get lost in space when you imagine being swallowed up in the giant vastness of the future, with its dark uncertainty, or reflect on how your past has held you captive in a hall of distorted, never-ending mirrors, reminding you of your mistakes and flaws, failures and losses. Take heart that the simple 24-hour container immediately banishes those two awful eternities away. You will find your energy and focus restored as you recognize that you were never lost at all. Keep it simple. Right now, conserve your energy and take care of you in basic, fundamental ways, and the world will be right again. So my ear is ringing specifically at the part where it says, take heart that the simple 24-hour container immediately banishes these two awful eternities away. That just, to me, signals that there is a feeling of focusing too much on the past or too much on the future, and needing to worry about just these next 24 hours and get through that, to let your angels bring peace to the situation, specifically Archangel Raguel, Raguel, I believe. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. He's the angel of harmony and peace, and that angel is coming through, that archangel is coming through specifically now to help kind of like hammer out the bumps and bring everybody to a state of homeostasis and balance and peace, is essentially what they're here for. So I do feel that like archangel energy there on your side. Interestingly enough, I wonder if that was the inspiration for this card, because we do have an angel here with angel-like wings. I don't know if you can see it, but with, see right here, like angel-like wings. So I don't know. Maybe that was what the inspiration was. Maybe that inspired that card. But anywho, I will pull from the Angels and Ancestors deck by Kyle Gray, and we'll see what else we have for you, Pisces. We have Sun, enjoy success and happiness. So this is just, I just heard, interestingly enough, that, like, this is going to help you get clear on your visions and your goals. This is going to help set you back on track. It's just in the now, even just going outside and getting some sun. If you're in a space in the world where you can do that, just going outside, embracing just the present moment, and, like, even if it's like a really small success and you don't really think it's like a huge achievement, again, not focusing on the future, but in the 24 hours, what is achievable in this 24 hours, and what's going to bring me joy in this 24 hours, and then focusing on that. And I feel like that's just your calling card right now, to just be happy. Just indulge in that peace, allow it to settle so that the energy can transmute into something more favorable, or something that you're not investing a lot of mental energy into, because that's making it feel extremely heavy for you right now, Pisces. And I'm also going to pull from Secret Garden by Jessica Leigh, or Jessica Lee, L-E. I've been saying it wrong, I'm sure. So this deck specifically, I assigned it to the new moon in Aries that we have coming up, because I know a lot of people, me included, are affected by new moon and full moon cycles. So just April 20th, or like around the midweek, in like a 3-day time period of that. Just a little bit extra guidance. Apply it to your week as you see fit, but the intention here is to serve you during that new moon time. Generosity is this card. It's generosity, sow seeds of kindness. So even if it's just giving very little things, for whatever reason, the acorns and the mushrooms on this card are calling my attention. I just feel like they're tiny little tokens of appreciation. Perhaps you could be giving tiny little gifts to people, and that generosity could spread, even if it's something simple as holding the door open for someone, or smiling in someone's general direction when typically you would not. Like, let's say if you're somebody who's like shuns your neighbors, for example, and then all of a sudden you offer them a smile one day and they get very, like, you know, oh, or they smile back, and that probably made them feel good, even if they didn't show it. You know, like, they appreciate and they will remember that, is what I'm hearing, interestingly enough. So, for some of you, quite literally just smiling or waving to your neighbors. And for some of you, maybe giving small acts of giving out small acts of kindness could be something that, and some of you, small acts of kindness could be, could help make this time easier and allow yourself to get into a more lighthearted space. I find that oftentimes when we are in that energy of generosity or thankfulness or expressing joy, that does draw our angel energy closer to us. That draws angels, our spirit guides, closer to us. We see the magic more in life, and I don't know, I just find that to be a better headspace to live in and a better heart space to live in. I didn't mean to keep shuffling this deck, but I did, so you have an extra card. You also have courage. When picking thorns, when picking roses, don't fear the thorns. Guys, I feel like some of you are, like, perhaps, like, I'm noticing that you could feel a little bit scared. This card to me indicates, especially because I said when picking thorns. I never say that. Oh my gosh. And I feel like I misspoke for a reason. Like, there's a reason I channeled that, specifically because when you want to pick roses because of their beauty, but it's almost like you're hardwired to view the cons of a situation. You're hardwired to not express your vulnerability and protect yourself. Like, you're like, I'm not picking roses until I go out and buy gloves, and then you just never buy gloves. So, like, you know, because it's on the bottom of your priority list, it's on the bottom of your bucket, and you're just not there yet. And I literally just heard the bottom of the night, and I'm never gonna win. This life hasn't turned out quite the way I want it to be. Rockstar by Nickelback. They'll come for me. I love Nickelback. But I'm really getting the sense that you're, like, down on yourself. So really use this week as an opportunity to embrace your joy and drop into your heart space and focus on your 24-hour time periods as much as possible. Focusing on the now is going to help kind of pull you out of the trenches, and at least get your head enough above the trenches to where you can see the sun over the horizon and understand that there is more to this, that there is more ahead, that, you know, your path does continue, and that you do have the ability to climb out of this trench. Does that make sense? So really Even if it is having the courage to smile to your neighbor, if you're someone who has social anxiety and you just don't want to reach out, and you're like, oh gosh, I don't want to introduce the concept of conversation to anybody because I don't, that's, I just heard, like, that's not gonna fly. Like, you will feel so much better. I mean, like, it will fly, obviously, if you let it, but, and Spirit's not, like, they're kind of joking around. They want to disarm you right now, in saying that, it's okay to, like, they want you to get into that playful energy, that easygoing energy, that despite, not wanting to get scratched by those thorns, you're still going to pick those roses because the beauty far outweighs the tiny scrapes that you get from the thorns. So I'm going to roll the dice for you, Pisces. We're going to pull from, Angel Numbers by Kyle Gray. You have 450. God and Archangel Michael are supporting you as you face fears, challenges, and setbacks. Know you are safe. One more time. God and Archangel Michael are supporting you as you face fears, challenges, and setbacks. Know you are safe. So, specifically in regards to archangels, you don't have to be resonating with the Christian religion to resonate with archangels or the term God. This could be source. This could be love, whatever you identify with. And archangels still carry, at least for me, they still carry a strong energy despite the fact that I don't completely resonate with the Christian religion, okay? So it's very malleable in that sense if you're not somebody who is fully into that. But that's just a side note. But I am hearing that specifically in the presence of fear is where you will find the strongest. It's almost like I see you kind of falling into fear, and then it's almost like Archangel Michael and Spirit God just kind of, I see them like holding your shoulders and lifting you back up. So that being said, Pisces, that's actually a very beautiful image. I love that image. Wow. Okay. That being said, Pisces, thank you so much to you, your guides, my guides, for allowing me to channel that message to you. I really hoped to have helped. I hope that I helped in some way. If I did, and if this resonated with you in any way, go ahead and like and subscribe and all this stuff. It really helps the channel. It helps me grow. And it lets me know that you want to see more of my stuff and more of my videos. Commenting is nice too. Definitely don't if you don't feel called, but I always like hearing about where you guys are from and how it resonated with you, and I like hearing how it relates and all that stuff. And to let me know how I've impacted people. I also have a Patreon that is taking way too long to get out, and set into motion. But if you want to keep up to date with that content, definitely another reason to subscribe because it is coming out very shortly here. So I love you, I love you, I love you, Pisces, and I will see you next time. Bye.